Hey YouTube, since you clicked on this video, you must be wondering, is now a good time to start investing? It's a very popular question that many people ask themselves right just now during this whole coronavirus pandemic. Let's get right into the video and I'll share my thoughts and opinions with you, and hopefully it will help make up your mind. So if this is your first time seeing any of my videos, or perhaps been on my channel, let me just start by saying hello and welcome. My name's Ian and I just started investing at the beginning of April, shortly after the coronavirus lockdown was put in place here in the UK. I'm currently documenting my entire investment journey on my YouTube channel here, so I'll include a link to that playlist below. You can check it out after if you like. Let me know in the comments section below if you've started investing recently, and please stick around until the end of this video. I'm going to give you some more details on my investment journey series because I really think that might be some benefit to you guys. There's a great deal of uncertainty right now all over the world in terms of people's jobs, unemployment rates, plans for returning to work, and so on and so on. Another big question on a lot of people's minds is just how are things really going to look when we do start returning to normal, whenever that might be. I think it's important to remember that the global economy has been through these sort of things many times in the past, and we've always managed to get through it eventually. For example, there was the Great Depression during the 1930s, the Great Recession during the 2000s, the financial crisis during 2007-2008, and now of course we've got this coronavirus recession, which is also being referred to as the Great Lockdown or the Great Shutdown, which is something I just learned today. But yeah, important to remember we do always eventually manage to get through these things, and the economy does come back stronger, even if it does take a bit of time. So this is why I think it's vital to plan your investments over a longer period of time and stop thinking of the short-term gains that you could potentially profit from. There's people that try and do the get-rich-quick schemes in the stock markets. And yeah, it's possible, but it also carries considerable risks. And that's not something that I'm comfortable with. Don't know about yourself. I would much rather invest for a longer period of time while I'm dollar cost averaging, which is like riding out the highs and the lows, and in the end everything kind of works out nicely. If I'm investing at the high points and the low points in the market, it kind of averages out over time. So that's kind of what my plan is with investing. But yeah, this ongoing coronavirus pandemic has caused the stock markets to crash big time. It's actually the steepest economy downturn since the Great Depression, which is just crazy to think, but that's just what's happening. But yeah, it does give those of us who are interested in getting involved in the world of investing a unique opportunity to do so, as many of the stocks are just way down in price. Essentially, many stocks are actually on sale right just now, meaning we can buy in if we want for a much lower cost than what it would have cost us before this coronavirus pandemic. It's for this reason that I personally think just now is a great time to start investing. And as Warren Buffett once famously said, be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. Right just now, there's a lot of fear going around, so it's time to be greedy if your personal circumstances can afford it. So investing's always been something that I wanted to get involved with. I love the idea of making my money work for me instead of me always having to work for my money. I'm sick fed up of bank accounts, savings accounts, current accounts earning pathetic levels of interest, and I kind of realised that's just no way to build wealth these days. I was always under the impression before that you save your money, you put it in the savings accounts, your current accounts, and you just kind of leave it be. But these days, the interest rates are so low with the banks that you're just never going to get anywhere that way. So yeah, it's no way to build wealth properly, and that's kind of why I've turned to the stock markets and looking towards investing. So then coronavirus came along, and it really gave me the push to buckle down and start researching this world of investing, and just it gave me the push to get going and just do it really. There's a couple of reasons why this is the case. firstly, this whole lockdown has given me more time to really do my research. I'm definitely not an expert by any means, far from it in fact. I openly tell you, if you've seen my other videos, that I'm a complete beginner myself, and I'm just making a conscious effort every day to continue to learn bit by bit. And for me, all this research has been really important because it's allowed me to get completely comfortable with this whole idea of investing. So yeah, having the extra time because of lockdown to really start researching has been a big thing. And secondly, as I mentioned earlier, many of the stocks right now in the stock market are massively down in price. So this is something I've seen as a once in a lifetime opportunity, really, to take advantage of. The whole buy low, sell high is extremely appealing, but it's important to note that time in the market is more important than trying to time the market. So just because many stocks are so cheap right just now, it doesn't mean you should just go rushing out and buy them. So always do your research, make sure you're comfortable with your actions, and then make the decision to invest if that's what you're planning to do. So you may be wondering, how did I actually get started investing? Basically, during the first couple of weeks of lockdown, I watched a shitload of videos all about investing for beginners, how to start investing, the best platforms to invest with, should I start investing just now, whole multitude of things. My watch hours on YouTube shot up massively, and I probably saw near enough every single ad centered around the topic of investing. So as you can imagine, that was a lot of fun. I then took a break from all the videos that I'd been watching and decided it was time to read a book. And I read a book that was called Early Bird, The Power of Investing Young. And then after that, I listened to an audiobook called The Little Book of Common Sense Investing. And I listened to that on Audible. And by that point, I felt more than comfortable with the whole idea of investing, and I just kind of wanted to get started because I felt like I'd already taken so much information. So I like keeping things simple when I can. Information overload is a massive problem of mine, and especially these days because there's just information everywhere. I easily find myself in a state of analysis paralysis, which is basically where I take in so much information and I read up so many different things on a topic, and then I kind of just freeze and I don't do anything about it. And that's a really frustrating problem of mine. Don't know if you sometimes experience the same thing. So to kind of get around that, I decided that I just needed to start. I just needed to go and start investing. Because if I read up anything else, either my head was going to explode or I was going to be completely turned off the whole idea of this investing thing, because like I say, I'd already taken in so much information. Don't think I could have taken in any more, to be honest. So yeah, I didn't want to watch or read anything else at that point. So I'd done all my research on the various platforms available for people who want to get into investing and for beginners who are looking to start investing. And the platform I eventually decided on was Trading 212. You've maybe heard of them already, I don't know. But there was two main reasons that I decided to go with Trading 212 as a platform for being my broker for my investments. The first reason was the fact they offer zero fee trading, not zero free trading, that makes no sense. They offer zero fee trading. So this basically means you can buy and sell investments without being charged a fee, like what other platforms sometimes do. I've heard other providers and brokers sometimes charge upwards of £10 and so on every time you purchase or sell investments, or every time you purchase or sell shares. I don't understand why you would want to cut into any of your potential profits that way. Everything that I had read and researched and watched by this point told me repeatedly, keep your fees down as low as possible or eliminate them if you can. So for me, zero fee trading just seemed like a complete no-brainer. So yeah, that's why Trading 212, that was the main reason, to be honest. And the second reason was simply that I loved the look of their mobile app. So like many people these days, I'm always on my mobile phone. So I wanted a platform that had a decent app that I could rely on and check on and make my investments through without any worries, sort of thing. And yeah, Trading 212 ticked that box nicely because their app's brilliant. And yeah, I've not had a single problem with it since I started using it. So yeah, I downloaded the app on my phone. I created my first ever stocks and shares ISA, and I then deposited £1,500 of my own savings straight into Trading 212 ISA account that I created. And yeah, at this point, my investment journey had officially begun. It was time to make my first investment now that my money had been deposited into my stocks and shares ISA account. And my first investment was actually in the iShares Core FTSE 100 ETF index. This is just an index which tracks the 100 top companies in the UK. I wanted to invest in the UK economy for a few reasons. Number one, I live here, so kind of biased in a way, I guess. And two, that particular ETF of the iShares Core FTSE 100, it had dropped in price so much that was a brilliant time for me to buy in, I thought, and kind of take advantage of the cheapness of it overall. So yeah, I thought it was an excellent time to get that added onto my portfolio for starting out. And bearing in mind, I'm only 1 month and 8 days into my investment journey, and so far that's been a great move adding that to my portfolio, because it's actually up. I just checked before I started doing this video. It's actually up by 8.2% overall on my portfolio, that investment, which is currently a return of £83. And yeah, I mean, do you know how long that would actually take to earn that amount of money and that percentage with the likes of your Bank of Scotland and your Lloyds TSB current accounts, savings accounts? It would be a hell of a long time, I can tell you that for sure. So that's all part of my plan. Looking to buy and hold these investments for a minimum of 3 to 5 years, likely even longer, to be honest. And yeah, I could sell the investments that I currently have that are in the green, that are in profit, and cash out. But by holding out for the long term, I'm hoping to make even more profit, and it'll be at an even healthier level. Because again, timing the market over timing the market is what I'm going for. And the whole snowball effect of compound interest that comes with your investments and continuously putting money into your investments over time. And I'm also going to reinvest my dividends. So when I receive a dividend from some of my investments, I'm also going to put that back in towards investments instead of taking that money out. So yeah, that's just how I'm kind of looking at things. Sorry, I need to apologise. I went a little bit off topic there. So yeah, getting back to the question of this video, do I think now is a good time to start investing? Yes, I definitely do. But please don't blindly follow what I'm saying. I think it's always going to be absolutely vital that you do your own research anyway, and you need to know exactly what you're getting yourself into, what you're getting yourself involved with. I'm not a financial advisor by any means. I'm just your average guy looking to make the best of a bad situation. That bad situation, of course, being this coronavirus pandemic that we're going through. But with that being said, if you're anything like me and you're fed up of your money sitting in your bank accounts and your savings accounts doing nothing, literally earning the lowest levels of interest possible, and that's it, then you might want to consider turning to investing and the stock markets to see if you can grow your money that way, like what I'm doing. I'm going to keep investing as and when I can, and I'm going to make sure I've got an emergency fund kept aside. And to be honest, I think that's really the best way to play this whole thing. Get it while the going is good, so to speak. Markets are cheap. If you've got money to invest and you're comfortable doing it, invest that money, leave it long term, let it grow, and hopefully you'll all come out of this happier. And that's really it. That's my strategy. Like I mentioned before, near the start of this video, I'm currently uploading a new video every week, usually on a Friday when the markets close in the UK. And that's part of my investment journey series, where I literally open up my Trading 212 app on the iPhone and I take you through my investments, my portfolio. I show you what investments I've made that week and what investments I'm looking to make for the coming week. Kind of just show you what's been happening. So if you're a beginner investor like me, then you might find it useful to follow along with another beginner and kind of see what I'm doing and see the way I'm thinking with things, sharing my highs and my lows with you guys. So if something goes well for me, you'll get to see it, and if something goes badly, you'll also get to see that. So being totally open and clear with you all. But yeah, again, I'm a complete beginner to this whole world of investing, this crazy world of investing, should I say. But I am focusing on learning more and more with each and every day. If you're looking to get started with investing, like what I did, but you're maybe wondering what platform to go with, then I highly recommend Trading 212, which is the platform I was mentioning before, the one I currently use. If you decide to sign up with them and you use my referral link, which I will include below in the description of this video, you'll receive a free share worth up to £100, and I will also receive a free share worth up to £100. To be honest, it's much better than signing up on your own without going through a referral link like mine, which is what I originally did. When I first signed up with Trading 212, I had no referral link and I didn't receive any free shares, sadly, which wasn't very good. But I just didn't know anyone at the time who was using Trading 212. Otherwise, I would have asked them for their code. But yeah, check it out. Check out the link I'll put in the description if you're interested. And if you, like I say, if you sign up, we'll both benefit. But yeah, for now, if this video has been of interest to you, please hit the like button. Please click subscribe, probably down here somewhere. And you maybe can tell I'm kind of still new to YouTube as well, but I'm kind of learning YouTube at the same time that I'm learning the stock market and investing. But yeah, anyway, like I say, if you like this, please click like, helps the channel. Please subscribe to the channel as well, and leave me a comment below letting me know if you're possibly planning to start investing anytime soon, or maybe you already have started investing during this coronavirus pandemic going through like what I did. Either way, let me know in the comments, and whatever you end up doing, I wish you all the best of luck. Hope it all works out for you guys. So really for now, cheers for watching this, really appreciate it, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Thanks again.